Christina Freeland is one of the people in Canada that I personally just I can't stand. And that's saying something because, she's right next to Trudeau. I can't stand that guy either. Never trusted him as far as I can throw him. He was kind of the Canadian version of Obama. And I mean, he's a spoiled brat is what he is. And, there's some other details about him, but nonetheless, let's talk about Christina Freeland. Never liked her. She's a nut job, really. I watched a debate years ago with her on a panel, and she just spews out feminist BS. That tells you that she's a Marxist, she's a nihilist, she's anti-individual, anti-reason. Um, you know, she's not a good person, is what she is. But she's smarter than Trudeau, and I think was behind a lot of his government. She was kind of running the government behind the scenes in a lot of ways, but she's not someone that I'm not a big fan of. But anyway, so she is quarterbacking policy in Canada to issue retaliatory tariffs on the United States. So they're targeting Tesla vehicles, and they're targeting Wisconsin dairy, and they are hyping up the rhetoric saying that they're going to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump in the United States. So Canada and the United States have had sort of an uneasy history prior to World War II. I mean, obviously, you got the War of 1812. Canada was the extension of the British Empire, and we had just fought a war against the British Empire to declare independence, thankfully with the help of the French. We were able to do that. And Canada was just this thing sitting just to the north of the United States. The saving grace is that the American population was much larger than that of Canada, plus Canada had a problem already. There were a section of it that was French, part of it was British. And so, and so things were tense, but after all that, after Canada became more of an independent country, and Canada was able to benefit from the trade and military relationship they had with the United States. And during the Cold War, we needed that frontage on the Arctic, because if the Soviet Union was going to launch missiles at the United States, it was going to come over the North Pole. So we needed Canada to be a part of the American network. So we made it very easy for Canada to have a relationship with the United States. The relationship historically has been very civil post-World War II, and the Canadians have benefited immensely from that. They were able to ship their natural resources right to market, right next door. Relatively low transportation costs, low risk. It's not like you have other countries that are resource countries, basically third world countries like Brazil, for example. They got to get their resources to market. They got to go, across the world, whereas Canada enjoyed a much safer relationship with the United States. And they got used to that. Now, to quote Thomas Sowell, those who are accustomed to preferential treatment, when the treatment becomes even, when things are more equitable, as far as when things are more even, when there's no longer that discrimination, it feels like bad discrimination for the person. So these Canadian elites are accustomed to this preferential treatment from the United States. And now that it's not like that anymore, the Canadians economically need to be plugged into the United States more than the other way around. The Canadian economy is more dependent on the United States' economy. The United States, we could very well source these materials from somewhere else. And then there's other things. There's actually a lot of things to unpack with that too within Canada. But she's being really stupid. This is not going to work. This is ideological in nature. This is emotionally driven on her part, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, yes, she's smart enough to target specifically the industries that, Elon Musk, for example, she's going to try to hurt Elon Musk. This is going to hurt Canada a lot more. Trump's going to retaliate, and we're going to impose much higher tariffs on Canada. And like I said, the United States has staying power, the Canadians don't. Chrystia Freeland is an idiot.